Ooh, here we are. So, there's Deep Rock Galactic. The game Deep Rock Galactic has a second spin-off game because now their Ghost Ship Publishing is wanting to publish games, and Fun Day Games is another game developer who wanted to make this Survivor adaptation. Survivor comes from the Vampire Survivor that got very popular, which people enjoy, with all the auto-shooting screen full of monsters, run away, survive. This one says Danger, Darkness, Dwarves. The friend called out. Kinda no longer darkness because there's no darkness in it, but this is the alpha in June, and they have a lot to change. Alpha playtest. It took me a while to get this alpha playtest. I signed up immediately for the wish list and the raffle that they had, and I got it a week, maybe a couple weeks after some people did. So he actually has a submission for feedback, but he turned it off by the time I got on because he said he got overblown by how much was sent to him. So take a look at it. I'll just do a brief exploration. I've already played this for probably 6-7 hours, and I've finished it because the alpha doesn't have very much. They have a character with a loadout gun, a scout, so there's no other classes. That'd be cool when they had classes. They don't explain these things, but because it moves faster and crit chance and dodge, and maybe he'll limit the tags you can get. Like he doesn't have a heavy tag, although one of the guns I was using was heavy, so two of the guns. That's just because it's an alpha, they would just allow everything. You start with this gun. I assume you play with another class, you have a different gun. Here's the difficulty. Haz 4 and Hazard 5 are not in this one. And now I've beaten Haz 3 2 times, I think. Almost beaten it a third, but then I beat it 2 other times. What's fun about it is that it's a roguelike. Roguelike, I believe, is the correct term, because you have permanent base upgrades that you will carry on to the next game, and gun unlocks that you wouldn't have otherwise. This upgrade tab is your, how to say it, profile base permanent upgrades, or your characters. Your character gets upgrades, and what makes them base is that it's a flat thing, not on your weapons, but on your overall character, like movement speed, XP gained, armor, radius pickups, movement speed, digging, luck, reload, things like that. So these are permanent ones that are the foundation of your character, and then every upgrade you get in the roguelite will add to it. So these will make the game easier from a start. So what originally happens is you don't know the game, you get into Haz 1 dive, you don't know how to do things, you're just exploring, and maybe you do well, maybe you don't. You don't know that there's some guns really good, or combos that will be good, and you're low health and whatever. But then as you get these secondary resources here, Jadas and Magmite, you will be able to upgrade these things and get a flat 8 armor when I think you have 0 to begin with, or 20% more credits. That doesn't matter, that just goes up here to buy stuff, which already I'm sitting in so much because the game's not finished. They don't have a lot of content, and then I've kind of finished it, and I haven't got all the upgrades, but finished the hardest difficulties, and I've unlocked everything. So, but that's how that works. Artifacts, they seem to be what you get after you finish 1 out of 5 stages, which in this one you're trying to go through 5 stages of digging to beat the big boss. You fight a boss at the end of every stage, and then you fight the big boss at the end. 3 mini bosses and 1 big one. And then you get in the drop pod to escape between every stage. And after every stage you get an artifact from the drop pod, but here I assume are like base permanent artifacts that you can maybe choose. I'm guessing you pick artifacts to start off with. That would be neat. Or you have to like turn off and on what artifacts you want in your in your next level. Milestones are just achievements and kind of upgrades that you unlock, so you have to use this, get rank 2 for the scout, reach rank 5 and you unlock this one, and maybe it's unlockable through all characters or just for the scout, but that's how it's looking. And then you unlock more things, like these are artifacts. Like this is an artifact that you get, and you can't get it in the game until you get this achievement to unlock it. These are weapons. Codex. I don't know if that just gives info, like a Wikipedia on the game. That's all that's here right now. You can wishlist. The game is obviously a shooter like Survivor. I enjoy it. It might be the end of this year that it comes out. I think they did say they're gonna try and do this year, but if they're in alpha, I don't know what that means for the other things. Of course, it could just come out and they keep releasing more content, but I would hope that there's going to be multiple classes and all the hazard difficulties and more weapons. I'm guessing I enjoy it. I'll buy it if it's like $25 or less or something. I remember them saying they don't know, they don't want to set a price, which of course, why would you lock yourself in a price? But they're going to try and be competitive and realistic, and they're Ghost Ship Games. Of course, this is another developer, but Ghost Ship Games is the publisher. They are not money-sucking corporations. They're very giving. They don't have microtransactions, and every season and DLC that they add, their seasons were free, and their DLC cosmetic packages were $10, always on sale for $5, and not necessary. So they're not a greedy corporation. So hopefully this game isn't either. Vampire Survivor, I think, was $5. I got it on sale for like $2. So it was a basic game. This game has a lot more than Vampire Survivor. Maybe better graphics. I mean, it has a better menu. Graphics not great anyways, but you can dig through walls. You can choose your directions. There's more unique enemy types that actually shoot things at you and move differently. I like the leveling, which I'll show you that when we get in here, that you actually get to choose. There's rarity of level choices, which just helps give a little bit more drop and a little bit more something to work towards that's spicy, of like, instead of which weapon do you want to upgrade, and you upgrade this bird from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3 and it tells you what it does. Those are like static upgrades. And this one, it'll say, do you want 30% reload or 30% power or 5% speed? And you're like, oh, well, this one's definitely better. This number, so they'll tell you with rarity. So yeah, hopefully, I'm imagining it's less than $25, like ideally, but that's up to them how much they want to. Who knows? If it's more than 30, nah. If it's $30, I don't think I'd do it. So, well, since I already have all these permanent upgrades, it's already like I'm getting a bonus. I'm gonna jump in Hazard 3, and this is obviously going to change because it's based on your. This is a playtest. It needs balancing, but there's already weapons I've found that I'm like, these are obviously better, and these are terrible weapons. Like, I like the shotgun boomstick, the M1000 sniper is the best, the stubby electric gun is great, and then the crossbow is pretty good, and the experimental plasma pistol that you unlock is pretty good. And then I avoid the loci, and I avoid the boomerang and the cryo grenade. Those are just awful. And the other guns are okay in the middle. But for Hazard 3, and if you really need to push, like, those 3 guns that I mentioned are terrible. They need a serious buff. And the M1000 needs a nerf, to say the least. So here's what I was talking about. You get rarity, so you get to choose whenever you level up for mining and killing bugs. You get a level. You get to choose between 3 things. You can pay 15 gold to re-roll all 3, but this is obviously pretty good. Uncommon, it goes white, which is common, green uncommon, blue is rare, and then purple being epic, and then red being legendary. pretty good guideline of like if you ever see red legendary, pick it, and purple, pick it, unless the other options are better. And the more luck you have is the more you should see those. But so this one is 25% crit damage. When you crit, I have a 8% chance to crit. When I do crit, I do double damage, so this would make it 225% damage. This gives me 6% fire rate on all my weapons. If I hover this, it tells me my fire rate, my reload. So that would go down here and affect all of my weapons. This gives me 15% damage. I'll get the crit since it's epic, might as well. And I don't want to re-roll because I don't want to re-roll already. I don't even have the gold, so I don't have that option. And so I'll just take any purple and red I see because they seem great. Blue rare, luck. I love luck is maybe the best thing because it only encourages your feature levels, and getting it this early is fantastic because maybe that 5 luck just gave me this legendary XP. Another amazing starter within the first levels to get XP and luck. That's great. As you can see, I'm almost level 5. When you get to level 5, you get a new weapon. So I like that in this game, unlike Vampire Survivor, which was weapons and upgrades are kind of random. But in this one, at level 5, divisible by, well, not divisible by 5, but 5, 15, 25, 35, 45 is when you get your weapons to choose from, new weapons. This one's pretty good. I haven't tried it enough to actually know. This one's awful. This one's good. Great. So I'll get this one, but I could re-roll if I want to keep trying to get the weapon that I want. So I would recommend saving gold for this one if you have it already, or at your level 15 to make sure you get the good weapons. But of course, they'll balance it on the next playtest or whatever. He's going to have a patch and ideally work out these kinks. People complained difficulties scale too quickly, or I don't know. I haven't heard all the feedback. I'm just playing my own, but boomstick is good. Probably goes well also with the sniper that I like. It says it knocks things back. I don't see that. So, plus side of this, as I told you, everything's bright. In this, compared to Vampire Survivor, you can actually choose where you go. There's actually walls. Vampire Survivor had a little bit of terrain walls, but not much. And you can dig through, and it can slow you down. Oh, wow. Is this my third bread? I'll get it just because it's legendary. Pick it. My scout base gun. So now I'll show you the stats. This one says weapon upgrades reload 50% because of the one I purchased. And now in green it will tell me the new reload speed is 2.2 seconds. This reload is 3.3. I don't have any upgrades for my boomstick because I just got it. But these are flat upgrades on that. So 20% reload, I believe, is in here. It's just not green. That's why it's 3.33. But it is being affected by this. Alright, then we just mine around. Look for resources. You want to collect those resources. These are secondary objectives. To complete this, I have to kill aliens, which will just happen because they're swarming me and I'm automatically shooting. I think I want to get XP. It's still really early. I'm less than level 15. I'm planning on getting more levels, so XP will help. I will collect this. This is red sugar, because you healing, but I am already at full health. So if I kill 200 aliens, then a big boss comes. Right there, I just finished the secondary objective of picking up 12 of those little flowers. So here, these are all white and green. Since I have a lot of luck, I may want to re-roll this just to encourage it by my usefulness of getting these levels, because I'm only going to get, like, if you're beating the game, you're between 38 and 45 maybe when you finish the last stage. So I have a lot of levels ahead of me to try and increase my cards. Move speed's great. It's 6%. You can see the real big difference of common. So if this is common, it's 3%. If it was uncommon, I think it would be 5%. And then if it was rare, it would be like 7, 8. If it was uh, epic, it would be 10, and if it was legendary, it'd be like 12%. And this is for all guns. So as you can see, you want the rarities, because I would have to get four of these common picks, 4 levels of this, which is a waste of my 4 levels, or just a 1 legendary to match it. So we'll try. Okay, well, I'm not going to roll more than once because I think I want to save my gold, but now I've got an uncommon. This is good, 5% damage on all weapons, and I think your character, so like I have my gun upgrades, and then I have my class character hero upgrades that are a base. I think they calculate afterwards. I'm not sure how they multiply, because I have 40% damage right now, and so if I add this, it'll be 45% extra damage. But when I've gotten a boomstick upgrade that's like 5%, it seems to jump a lot more. So it makes me think that it calculates your weapon, and then it calculates your bases, and then that's your total. I'm going to do pickup because I want to have at least some pickup, because it's very short in this game of the range that, like, I'm not even picking that XP. Now I am. So I like to get something of it, because I don't know if it's intentional or not, but when enemies die, they shoot the XP in the air by physics. It just explodes. Just like satisfying, I guess, but a pain with some explosions really shooting off on some elite or bosses that you need. Like, I know I need that XP, I'm gonna die. Like, I need these levels now. So the extra grips, the extra pull-in range helps capture all those flying away XP. So when I'm rolling it, I just finished a Hazard 3 yesterday when I was playing. And I know my picks, and I'm not talking, and I'm just playing and picking. It took me exactly 20 minutes, it was like 20 minutes and 20 seconds to finish the whole thing, completing it. And I think that's a sweet spot of how much time do I want to spend in this. Like, I want to get in, and of course your first ones will be failures on the first or second stage of playing this. So you're going to have 2-minute game, a 5-minute game. And you're just going to reap, and then you dive right back in until you're winning. And when you're winning, it takes 20 minutes. Maybe it'll be a lot longer now for me because I'm sitting here talking and looking, but that's great, because I think if I want to play for 40 minutes or an hour, being able to have 3 winning sessions, or like in theory you would have like 3, 4, 5 losses and 1 win. That's a good time management. I like that. Of course, I would like more content in the game, but yeah. So this is rare. This is actually pretty good. It's quite a bit of damage upgrade. And I was curious if 15% damage of 84 would actually be more than what it is showing, because I think it calculates before this. But this is rare. That's uncommon. So this is just one step better, but I think that's more important. Fire rate. Although the fire rate's really not that bad, because it just takes 1 second to shoot 2 off. So I'm not going to be increasing it that much. It's the reload speed that really is affecting this. So maybe I will get the damage. We can do the crunch the numbers later, but it's 84 damage. And it's 15% upgrade, and I have a 40% base. And then when I click on it, what do I have? 97. Okay, I'll try and check that math later, see if how that's being calculated. In that case, there was a blue and a green. It's like, pick the high rarity. Well, if you got a particular weapon that you like, and one affects an attribute that you think is more important, damage is important. I'll tell you why I think it counts. Is it's calculated for the damage done. That's added. If you crit, you're adding more. And you're utilizing how many bullets you have in that magazine, or barrel in this case. So if you increase your fire rate, you're helping your speed of shooting those rounds, but you still have to reload, and you're not increasing your damage. You're increasing your DPS, but you're not going to be able to take out more bad guys with the same magazine. So it's definitely good fire rate on slow weapons. Like if I Or if you have something that just needs to burn through a big magazine, obviously it's DPS. But if you could do damage, you're going to be multiplying that by in a different venues of like both how much you're going to get a magazine, how much you're going to crit, and your flat damage that you're going to be adding, which is time. And it's better if you can finish somebody rather than like if I'm only doing enough damage to get them to 90% health and I have to shoot them again, then I wasted a bullet. Overkill. So I'm talking explain too much, but I'll just start playing relaxed. But I wanted to explain what I found so far in the game. Just little tips. And I could be wrong in the theory, but digging paths, it's cool. You can bunker up, which is really nice. I think I have tons of magmine actually. This rare red resource. I think that's what I have excess of. It's the other things I can't find. Ah, we haven't seen it yet, but I haven't explained it. See all the XP floating around. You can get a magnet, just the same as in Vampire Survivor, to pull all the XP to you. Doesn't pull objectives, doesn't pull resources, doesn't pull gold or anything like that, but it does pull the XP. So ideally, if you see a magnet, you wait and save it, because being able to get on the drop pad, oh, this is getting bad. That is so neat that like you have to dig to get away from things, but weapons. Bosco's annoying. He's every divisible by 10, 10, 20, 30, 40. You get Bosco upgrades. They're kind of, I don't know how much he actually does. But yeah, that was a close one, but we got out. This has 3, so you really do fall behind the curve quickly, and you need to have the best weapons for right now. Unless maybe I get all the base permanent upgrades. I haven't gotten all those, but maybe if I did. See these yellow bulk exploders? They actually help you when you're behind the line too, because like they're nasty, but you can actually set them off by getting them to vibrate, and then you walk away quickly if you have enough speed. So I've actually utilized them. These stabbers are a pain. I've actually utilized them when my damage is not doing well. And now I wish I had a magnet, but I haven't found a magnet. So, there is my artifact from the supply pod. 50% fire rate, nice speed. This one is really big, but it will slow you down. And this has got me killed a couple times, but it is also, it's huge. Just keep your nitro down, I guess. But it's quite nice. These, I don't know, I haven't tried them enough, but. So, we just increased our damage. Now it's 180 because I have 160 down here. I'm going to write this down again. 180. So if I had 15, I'll go to 30% for the weapon. Okay. Another thing to test out. Now that I finished the drop pad, I want to get XP. I finished the boss. Now I need to get to the next stage, and you are timed 30 seconds to get to the drop pod. Otherwise, you are left behind. These pink XPs are extra XPs. This won't take me too long, I think. I'll get it. So these secondary objectives, this like the pearls I just picked up, they're what you need on your profile to buy your character's base permanent stats that you start the game with. So I started with 20% reload because I have purchased those permanent upgrades. And they will be, this is epic, I'll get them. Epic and legendaries, pick them. So this was a real bummer. I was really unlucky to never get a magnet. I don't know how, but sometimes I got no magnets that whole first stage. And so I missed out on 3 levels there, probably, or 4 levels, because there was no magnet at the end on my way to the drop pod. That's ideal, is that when the elite comes, you fight around the magnet, and then you kill the elite and kill a lot of enemies. When the drop pod comes down, giving you 30 seconds to get there, you grab the magnet on your way out, and then you've maximized getting all the XP on the map. This is legendary, which I would be like, get it, it's legendary, but I mean, it's fire rate, and fire rate is not what makes this slow. This is still a 1-second shot. And if I do that, it'll change it to a 0.75 second or 0.5 second shot, which it's not the slow thing, it's the reload. So kind of feels like an unnecessary. This one is quite good because I am maximizing my damage. Now you get to re-roll for 5 gold. I have gold credits, nitro credits. You can heal. The heal's pretty expensive and not worth it. It's if you're really close to dying and you need it. But otherwise, I recommend when you drop in, the stage is empty, quickly go run towards the first healing thing you have, and it'll be as good as this. So I can re-roll for 5, then it becomes 7, then it becomes 9, then it becomes 11, I believe. So luck. I love luck. On the first stage, second stage, get luck. Maybe you stop picking luck on, 4th and 5th stage, but otherwise it's great. Another rare damage. Okay. Nice. So I'm out of nitro, but I have a little bit more gold, so I can spend that. Great. Movement speed. I have a artifact that slows me down, so this is pretty important, and it's rare and it's nice. Movement speed's always good. So now the more nitro I get, the slower I go. That's something in this alpha that they must have tacked on artifacts at the end and didn't think about it. Because if I push escape, I can see my stats, but I can't see my artifacts. And another con that they need to fix in feedback is that when you're in the shop, you don't see your base stats. You can inspect your guns, and so you don't know what you have and how much, if that's good or not. So you see how there's red sugar there on the wall to the left there. If you're low health, immediately go run to those when the map is still empty. That's what I recommend. Instead of buying it, because here I found 2 red sugars. But this is fun, addicting. I like the rarity compared to Vampire Survivor. What I like is that you can dig through walls. You have more choices. And I just like Deep Rock's, like Deep Rock lore. I like the Deep Rock game, so that's why I'm in. This is looking bad. I'm gonna have to shotgun this guy to. I don't have good weapons for this curtain. Oh, so bullets, battery elemental type bullets. Those are particular per weapon. This is a. This one is great because you can actually only get it once. So you might as well pick it. First of all, it changes my damage. It doesn't decrease the damage, it just makes it electrical. Electrical is the best one that they have right now because it makes it splash. Just a minute. Alright, so as I was saying, with electric, it's nice because it actually does area damage. And in this one, you actually can run through enemies because there are a certain amount of attacks that they can do. They have to reload, and also I think you can only get attacked like every 0.3 seconds or something. Like you can only get hit 3 times a second or 2 times a second. So you actually can just run through enemies that you can't do in Vampire Survivor. So it's very forgiving in that case. What's great about these runs is that I was going to quick demo this, showing it, but I'm going to have to actually run real quick, so I only have a few minutes left, but what's great is I already beat this, and I can just, well, I could pause it, or I've done enough that I'm fine with leaving it. So, just seeing how it's going. It's getting challenging here on this difficulty. Oh, level 15. Now I got my third weapon. Big change. This one was great. Electrical again. And this one's great. I don't know what plasma does, but this ball is great. And I think I need more area, and so I'll get it. Let's see. This one I was disappointed in, but I think I heard that somebody said you can get upgrades that make more beams, which would then be, okay, now it's great. But you don't know that without experimenting, and I've gotten the cryo cannon 4 times and I've never gotten more beams yet, so I just stopped getting it because it's not good. There's my plasma beam bouncing around. So electrical, as I was saying, electric elements I think are the best right now. Cryo, I don't know what it does besides it says slows, which doesn't seem potent enough. Plasmas, there's a magnet. I didn't get one on the first stage. Otherwise I'd be in a better place because of all this. This is difficult, and if I had gotten levels. Okay, that's sugar's not worth it right now. The mining patches do stay damaged, so if you hit them, you can go back to them. This helps electrical, acid, and fire. Electrical's great. Fires just adds 10 damage if you hit them, so I guess it's good if you have a fast firing weapon, but there is no fire yet, I don't think. I only know the M1 Grand that does slow attacks, so it's 10 if you hit him again, 20 if you hit him again, 30 damage a second for like 4 or 5 seconds, and it stacks up to 3 times, or maybe 4 times. So if you had quick firing ones, they could be like, you want to hit 4 on people as much as you can and keep them burning. But acid is great. It sits in a pool and people walk over it, and it does like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So the crossbow is great for that one. But I don't have a lot of SAS effects, so it's not that useful. I do need pickup, but it's 30%. It's epic. I'll use it. So you see, like with the shotgun, I'm going to try and show off my electrical. It seems to be doing, well, I've almost got the elite boss coming, so getting more nitro to get my damage up. Oh, here's some secondary objective. Nitro's damage for me. You see how it's 135% down in the bottom right, 149%, 169%. And I want to make my way, since I've almost kind of got spawned the elite. Once I do spawn the elite, I want to make my way towards that magnet. Bulkheads exploders start coming early. They used to be only when the elite comes, then these spikers and spitters and bulk exploders start coming towards you, but harder difficulty, and I think based on time they just start coming earlier without the elite, so you can't farm them. Okay, crit chance is important. I have high damage, and I'm multiplying that crit. Oh, one more of these caps, and I'll finish my secondary up here. You see the bolo cap? These stabbers are a pain. I'll grab this one. There. Now I get XP and gold for finishing that. Not even a third of a level, so it's not too important, but the gold is good. So if I can, there. You get next to them and get them start vibrating, and they'll chain reaction, and then boom. They're actually helpful. They look scary and daunting, but you utilize them if you're having a hard time with all the minions. You do a circle to get them grouped up like that, and then you step towards them, and they'll do all the damage for you. The gold bulk guys don't give XP, but they kill all the minions to give XP. They also do damage to fire rate for everything, or fire rate for this. That's kind of useful, but it's only got one clip, so I don't know if fire rate actually does anything unless it waits half a second before it shoots. So I'll just get it though. So I didn't quite make my way to the... Oh, okay, that was dumb of me to run through that much. Ideally, oh, the drop pod is towards the magnet, which is great if I remember it being here. Yep, there it is. I've got great crit and damage, so I get the magnet on my way out. Level. Ooh. Then I got a second level. Third level. So that's why you want to save the magnet for the end. I missed out on 4 or 5 levels that would have boosted me on the first stage. Alright, but I'm going to have to go. I'm not going to be able to finish this, but here's another bullet. It's good to pick up because you won't find it. It won't waste it in one of your cards of a level, and it's just an upgrade that is a flat bonus and you'll never see it again. Pickup's helpful because, yeah, I could have gotten health there, but I think it's still not quite worth it because in this case I can run right. I saw some, I'll get the nitro and then I'll get the red sugar because I think it doesn't even give you max. If it, they should make the heal almost max health or even like 100 hit points, then it would be more worth it for 30 gold. But otherwise, this gives me 45, and I think it gives you 60, 70 maybe if you buy it at the health place. So gold is more valuable. 2 rerolls and a free upgrade at the store is just more worth it than healing. You also have a little regen, which is that's not much. Okay, next best weapon. This is awful right now. Electrical drones, they're pretty cool, but you need to get this drone upgrade that makes it so that you have more drones. The boomerang's awful. So I'm going to re-roll it, because that's what you want to save gold for, is re-roll it. This gun, fantastic. Now, what's great is that it's too powerful. It does a lot of damage. It pierces endlessly through enemies, and it targets the biggest health guy. So it's just like a smart gun that you can strategically use, and it clears. If I make this bunker here, oh, I got a flyer that's gonna mess me up, but I could stand here and have my sniper. Look at that. I guess it does stop eventually. They need to nerf it. They need to make it maybe do less damage to all the extra targets, or it only, like, it loses 10% of its damage or 5% of its damage every target it hits to a minimum of 20% damage or something like that. These would drastically change it, but I'm just saying like how they need to balance that. Max health is really good to buy in the store. That's another reason why you don't buy the healing, is that you would buy max health upgrades because they heal you in addition to giving you max health, and they can be cheaper. So those are a no-dub pick in the store. But I'm gonna pick that pick. This is my straight damage. Ooh, I'm getting really lucky. Unfortunately, ooh, see, this is why you get luck. Although fire rate is not great for that gun, but I forgot. But it's legendary. I'm gonna get it because now this says it's a fire rate of 0.8, but it's got 1 size magazine. So unless I can increase its magazine, which I've never seen an upgrade that, there's no upgrades that increase magazine size. If I could, then it'd be better, but it's not. I'm already on the elite. Look at that, from sitting in the bunker. Well, I enjoy the game. It's addicting. More fun than Vampire Survivor because you get these rarity cards that you're rolling, which I guess makes it more random and less, you know, strategic planning like you could do in Vampire Survivor, but I like the digging, like the resource, the lore. I want to play the driller class. I wanna, oh, this is great. Fire rate is what you need for the M1 because it takes longer to shoot off your rounds rather than it takes to reload the magazine clip. So it's better to get fire rate in this case. And I don't see a magnet, which is unfortunate. Should you get that drop pod? Ooh, critical strike chance with this. Yep, just save nitra. And now I have high damage and high crit. 68% chance to crit. There's another one that gives you that makes your crits. There's a magnet. Get on your way out. 1 level. 2 levels. That was great. I just increased my reloading by 18% for everything. 1 flower missed, but the secondary XPs don't give you enough. So, alright. More reload. That's pretty nice. But this is all Nitra, and I want to save my Nitra now because I have gold to spend, so I want Nitra because that gives me damage, gives me crit, and yes, slows me down, but it outweighs what I'm getting for it. Unfortunately, this is a really good run for me. Pretty good. This would be maybe a victory run once it has 3, but I won't be able to finish. Oh, again, I've never gotten more than 50 luck. I don't know what it... I'm curious what it does for me. If commons are no longer possible now. And, I mean, I guess they're always possible. I assume that luck is going to be a descaling in efficiency, and the curve will go down where it is less and less efficient. But more nitro. Oh, I just have enough pickup range. I didn't mean to pick up that magnet, but I did. Reload, yeah. So now the fire rate's what I need, so it takes almost one shot a second, almost. So it still takes me 6 seconds to unload this gun, but only 2 seconds to reload, so fire rate is, again, still the downside. And this shotgun does so much damage. Shotgun and M1, best guns. And this plasma beam, I'm pretty sure is great too. I think I want to die to see the menu afterwards. Stubby's fantastic, but I thought about trying this one. But, I'll try it. I never get that one. The Stubby is a great electric gun. But I'm going to try this to see what it even does. I've only gotten it once before. Doesn't tell me what it targets. This one does. It says, targets the highest hit point enemy. Yeah, this is a great build. I run for the flowers, but it's really not that important. Getting all the resources, mining, is more important than the secondary objective at this point. It's a good boost on the lower stages, but on the later stages, it's like killing 15 or 20 little enemies. That takes no time at all. I have to kill 700 of them, so it does give you gold, but I can mine gold. Crit chance of all weapons, I already have high crit chance, and this does a better version of that, so I don't understand. I guess it's crit. No, yeah, I don't get why that's rare, and this isn't, unless it's the crit of the electric shocking. Oh, I should have re-rolled, but I'll get armor just for the sake of getting. There's a lot of them, and maybe armor's not a subtraction. I don't quite know how it's calculated. Obviously, descaling and efficiency as well, because I've gotten 40 armor before and I still died. So armor is a last choice kind of pick, unless it's really strong, like blue, purple, legendary, because you're trading damage that kills things before it gets to you for I'm planning on getting things hitting me and I'm decreasing it. Like, well, if you just killed them fast enough, then you wouldn't have to deal with that, and defense gives you nothing else unless there was thorns in this game. Now this, I have a couple electric weapons, so I did get hit a couple times there, but now I get a magnet on the way. I'll get that, even though those other ones aren't very good, but there's better ones I could have got. I could get this to push my crit over or reload. Ooh, fire rate again. It's like, I don't think fire rate's important unless it speeds up my orb. That'd be neat. Fire rate for that one is important because it's very slow. And it's got a big magazine compared to how fast it shoots. Wow, I want to get through, but I'm not going to make it through. Okay, if I'm going to try and rush quickly to this one's different. You kill the cocoons and then you kill the big guy. I'm going to try and do it as fast as I can so I can make it. So I can get to the next one. I gotta stop picking up the resources. Just gotta get the cocoons. Even though these rare resources are actually what I want because they're they're the only thing that I can buy upgrades with. But cocoons, cocoons, I'm looking for you. Where are the cocoons? More green. Jadas. There's a cocoon. Break it open. Shotgun that. Alright, now I'm looking for the last cocoon. I should kill them, so I'm not fighting all of them at the same time, but I feel pretty strong. And they'll just die. There's cocoon. There's nitra. I want these nitra so that I can get extra crit damage. Slows me down, but fire rate, I'll take it. I don't want to get too slow. That is how I've lost before. Is Dreadnought dashes, and then you're unable to move out of the way. So this was ballsy, but I really have no time. This was bad that I didn't kill the mini bosses before the giant boss. Oh, he's dashing, so I move. Do the circle, kiting all three of them at the same time. That's great. Oh, did he get me there? So this was a great build. Well, as I said, I know which the artifacts of damage and the artifacts. I'm sure I'll get the XP because this is the last stage. I don't have a... Oh, yeah. Shotgun this guy. I could just randomly shotguns the nearest guy, so those are mini bosses. Then I killed big bosses, and this is the giant boss. Oh, terrible weapons. All of them terrible. I've not used this much at all, so I'll try it. In fact, what is it? It's got okay fire rate, okay reload, and the damage isn't. Wow, didn't think I'd make it through, but I did. Really sped up there. These guns are fantastic. Oh, alright, that's my door. Gotta run. Should have grabbed that, but RL.